my first year as a loan officer, I didn't know anyone, not one person, and I had an amazing coach, and like he was like, look, you need to call enough realtors every single day to get three coffees a day with a different realtor every single day. And I said, so that's the goal, right? And he was like, no, that's not the goal. He's like, that's the job. And I was like, oh crap.
You know what my main thing, similar to that,
Yeah.
I make people make 25 offers. If you make 25 offers today, what's the chances of you getting a deal?
Today, I mean, it depends.
If I told you no experience today, go and make 25 offers. If I told you to go make 100 offers.
But so the thing is, I hear that, right? And I think about the work that's involved with that, right? I think about the number of people that are going to follow through with that amount of work to get the job done. And that's the thing is that human behavior is one where people naturally don't want to get out of their comfort zone, right?
People don't,
They don't want to change. They don't want to feel like a risk. Even if there's no financial risk, they don't want to risk their pride or go into this zone of fear, right? And so they'll avoid the things that are hard, where it's like, if it takes putting in 25, if it takes putting in 100, if it takes putting in 2,000 offers for you to guarantee, like from a statistical standpoint, for you to make $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is, right?
Pick up the phone.
Like most people though wouldn't do it.
Right.
And then you've got your, not even 5, probably 4, 3, 2% of people would do the work that it takes, because that's the only reason why you've got your people who make it from nothing, because they're willing to put in the work to get it done.
Yeah. Statistically, in hot markets where with a ton of competition, statistically it's going to take you about 25 offers from not knowing anything about real estate to get one deal. If you know what you're doing, between 7 and 15. That's why I tell people to make 25 offers.
Yep.
And if they listen, everybody who listen, you see the YouTube videos. They got a deal. If you didn't listen and you made excuses.
So my first year, right, as a loan officer, we were on a 12-week call cycle. And I had to call the same people for 12 weeks and ask them.
Same exact people.
Same people, right?
Follow up.
Because
I just did a study on this, man.
There you go. Because apparently after, you get no's, and after between week 8 and week 11, you have the highest likelihood of getting a yes. And after 12, they drop off, because if they tell you no for 12 weeks, you're going to get the no forever, right? Yeah. And so I think one of a couple things happen. Either you break them down and finally they agree, right? Which is okay, right? You call enough and then they know who you are, right? And then they're like,
relationship.
And even if you're leaving voicemails, like, I've got your voicemail for 8 weeks now, right? Or they realize that you're consistent enough and they respect it, right? And then they're willing to give you a chance, right?
Thank you.
But that was tough.
Yeah.
Like, because here I get 6 weeks through, and most of the people aren't happy that I've called them 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just asking for them to meet me.
You're just cleaning a list, though, man. That's what you're doing.
That's it. And I had to go into this zone where there was no fear, there's no pain. It's like I turned into this like robot, and I'm just calling and calling and calling,
Next one.
And it seems it at that point I didn't know anyone in town, right? And I had to scale and I had to feed my family. So I was like, what do you have to do to get the job done? And it worked, and it was good. But that's something I think that it's hard. It's really hard to do. It's hard to put yourself there. And I think that there's this allure with coaching programs that the coaching program is going to make it work. It's like, no, the coaching program
is to guide you.
The coaching program is going to give you the knowledge
and the resources
for you to go do it.
That's it.
And I would say this, part of that allure is probably from what the financial industry has started for people, because when you think of the financial coaching, whether it be financial advising, financial planning, what it's done, unfortunately, for the average American is take stewardship out of their money. Like, they no longer think about, well, am I making a smart investment here? Or am I doing this the right way? It's, hey, here's all of this. You just tell me what to do, right? And then if I fail, it's your fault. instead of if I fail, it's because I didn't do the due diligence to say, you know what, that part right there didn't make that much sense to me. Maybe I should do something differently, right? And I see that all too often. Like if you look at any infinite banking podcast, part of the biggest kickback is that people can't think conceptually because they can't think about them performing action, right? It's, okay, so this guy is telling me to take a loan out against the policy and then invest in real estate. Or this guy is telling me to basically create my own investment and create my own comp from the investment. Because that's really all of us are saying the same thing, right? Yeah. As far as infinite banking. If you take the policy, you have a better arbitrage because it's a lower loan rate, but it's also continuing to grow while you're using the money, right? But the person says, well, why wouldn't I just put my money in the market? Do you even know if the CEO just broke up with his wife of whatever company that you're invested in? Do you know the companies that you actually are invested in? Majority of the time when you meet with a person, they have no idea.
We just had this conversation about me and crypto earlier today.
Right. Which is why I say that they're not investing, they're speculating, right? It's funny because like, and I'm not knocking this as a fun, like when people buy ETFs or different things like that, basically it's like a spread of different companies. That's not something that Warren Buffett actually subscribes to. And to me, I'm like, I'm always, who is the best at this, right? If you listen to the average advisor, they're not advising you to be like Warren Buffett. They're advising you to trust them, right? So,
yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett tells you that diversifying doesn't make sense. You know why he says it? He says, if you actually knew what you were doing, you would have no need to diversify. You only diversify to minimize risk. Risk is a lack of knowledge. When you know,
that's exactly what
you don't diversify.
There you go.
Right? Which is so interesting that people really don't catch that. But
I'm two things. Going back to your follow-up thing, that study I was telling you about. It says when, let's say for example, you're doing direct mail.
Yep.
Right? When you're doing direct mail, expect a 2% return rate
2%.
on the first mailer, right?
2%. Yeah.
Then it goes up to like 4. Then it goes up to like 5%. Then during that 4th or 5th month, they said between months 5 and 12, you're gonna go from a 10% to 81%.
What?
Yep. I did this information. I will actually put it in my new wholesale course. I did the research on it. You jump from a 10% response rate to an 81% response rate between months 5 and 12. And then after that, like you said, it drops off.
Because I've seen it so many
crazy
times.
Numbers, man.
That is crazy.
Crazy numbers. I'll send you the data.
Please do. That's awesome.
Number 2, the reason why that happens is because you're building relationships with people over time. Look at what McDonald's. Remember, look, just a few years ago, McDonald's was running a commercial every 15 minutes, give and take. Why do you think they're doing that?
Stay in front of you so
Stay
that
in front of you. They're building. They're subliminally building a relationship with you over time. That's all they're doing, right? So when you think about eating now, you're going to think about them. Number 3, I said 2, but number 3, you were just talking about. Refresh my memory.
Warren Buffett talking about diversification and risk.
Diversification
and risk,
right?
Yeah.
So with diversification, and this is pertaining to real estate. It's a real estate channel. It's a financial channel at this point. But so when it comes to real estate, you got something called shiny object syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome.
That's everything. Yeah.
So now you hear about wholesaling, you hear about rehabbing, you see this guy making money through Airbnb, this other one making money on Verbo.
Tax liens.
And all that.
Tax liens.
Right? You know what the problem with that is? You got too many options, you're not going to make one.
Yeah.
You're not going to make one choice and you'll never make money. So when I tell people, especially with my coaching clients, Deal Pro Accelerator program, I tell them all the time, look, pick one thing. Let's
Choose
get
a
really
niche.
good at one thing.
Yep.
Even marketing. Pick one marketing channel, master it, then add another one.
Then add
You should have 5 marketing channels at all time. But pick one. Get really good at one. Get really good at one strategy.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision on one thing. That's how you're gonna master it.
Yep.
If you got too many options,
Well, then it becomes second nature too.
there you go.
Then you're not on a learning curve.
That's
anymore.
how I'm able to do everything in real estate because it took me
Same,
24 years to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it didn't happen overnight. I got really good at rehabbing houses, got really good at wholesaling, got really good at finding deals and building up cash flow. Now I'm a master at my game. You know, it's just, it is what it is. Hey, what's up? It's Jamel Gibbs, your family-oriented entrepreneur. Listen, I really appreciate you watching this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.